Willem Dafoe.
Funny thing about Willem Dafoe, his name kind of sounds like a frog talking to a parrot.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe!
Willem Dafoe.
I got Togo!
Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
And this is our spoiler talk review for Disney Plus's Togo. Now, we know this movie's been out for a while, but this comes as a request from my Patron Travelerofpages. It's actually kind of funny because he wrote in the request, he goes, I was going to suggest Togo, but Hunchback of Notre Dame would be good. So I covered Hunchback of Notre Dame in a really cool video with Castlevania Season 1, so I got you, Travelerofpages. We watched Togo. This is our spoiler talk review. So, Laura, let's just start with you, generally. Your grade. Let's do that. Let's go there. What's your grade?
I'll give it a solid B.
Solid B?
I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
But I wouldn't rush back to it again. It was well acted. Well, Willem Dafoe was great.
Yes, he is.
The other
The
characters,
dogs were good
the
actors.
dogs were great. The people
And they weren't
around
CG.
them were good, but they're not really in the story much, so
Right.
it doesn't really matter.
I think I'm going to give this movie an A-. I am the borderline B+, though. It's a really low A-, but I thought it was a really good movie and a story well told, and it did a good job kind of getting you in the feels and getting you attached to
Yes,
the dog,
it really
so I did enjoy that.
Well, just one dog.
Just one dog. Mr. Togo. You know one thing this movie did for me? I don't like Balto at all anymore.
Oh, do you even remember it? The movie?
Well, I never saw the movie, but the fact that Balto got his own movie and Balto got all of this
But
attention.
that's not Balto's fault.
Who was the one sacrificing? Togo. He did all the work.
Now, for those of you who have not seen the movie, Togo's the one who does the race, but the last leg of it was done with the lead dog, Balto.
No, it was done with the lead dog, Fox, and Balto
Oh.
was like the friend, and the news guy was like, well, they're gonna think it's a fox. Because sometimes people think the general audience is stupid. And so they went ahead and said, no, we'll give all the credit to Balto. Not even 50% to Fox, who was right beside Balto.
A little passionate about that.
Well, because Togo had no dog beside him. He was the lead dog. Okay, I'm done. That said. Wow. Okay.
Oh.
So really, the story is about they need to get the medicine into town, and so Willem Dafoe and Togo, they ride off on the dog sled team, this unseemly amount of miles in one of the worst storms ever in history in Alaska.
And
they get the medicine and bring it back.
And one of the things that they try to talk about is Togo is an old dog.
Yes, he's
But there's
12.
no way Togo's going to let anybody else run. If
No.
his master goes, he goes.
That's
Plain
right.
and simple.
Yes.
And so it's about the story of this dog that's older also, but it has the heart and the drive, and it's going to lead. No
Yes.
questions asked.
Actually, one of my favorite parts about the movie is because, I don't know, Disney Plus, so I should have known they would have broken up some of that tension a little bit, but for some reason I went into this thinking, this whole thing is just going to be dank, isn't it? It's going to be dank and depressing
no.
and intense. I didn't know I didn't watch any trailers. It's just one of those things where I saw it pop up on Disney
I just
Plus.
figured it was going to be similar to Iron Will
Right.
from back in the day.
I haven't seen that in so long. I don't
been,
even know
over
if I have
20
seen
years.
that. Maybe I have. I don't even
That
remember.
dates us just a little bit.
The point is I didn't quite know what I was going to get going into this, and what I really liked is how they broke up with the tension with all these lovable scenes of flashbacks to Togo as a puppy. And all the ways that he was an escape artist and kept breaking out of his pen. And
Those were awesome.
and I feel like I'm a cross between the guy and his wife, because Willem Dafoe's character was just ticked the whole time because he's trying to run a business, do a job, and the dog keeps escaping, and now his time is being wasted trying to take care of this dog. So I feel like I'd have that frustration. But his wife just loved that dog, and I love dogs, so I also feel like I would have that love for the dog that the wife had. So it's like the way they broke up the tension and would go back in time and show him as a puppy, that was so smart. That was really clever, and that was a good way to attach us to all the characters.
Yes. And really, if anybody's owned a husky, they know they're escape artists. They want to work. They don't want to
Yes.
sit. and they have to be driven hard, and so that dog was not going to sit. That's pretty much what we learned, and it was a very typical husky nature.
Yeah. Something else that was so cool about this movie was just the shots. The cinematography
so beautiful.
Was incredibly
But
epic.
I feel like Alaska is that way.
Yes. Well, we went to Alaska on a cruise, and we actually went into the Yukon and rode on a dog sled, which was kind of cool.
That was so much fun.
It was like, spring, summer-ish, so
Yes.
of course it was a sled on wheels as they're training the dogs, but it was one of the coolest experiences we've had, and it was cool to see that, but, that whole landscape is just amazing, and I'd be terrified to live in that in the dead of winter. And I feel
at
like
negative 60 degrees
Oh my
and
gosh.
like a wind chill. Oh my gosh, insane.
So the movie did a really good job, like that first scene where they're rushing in and Willem Dafoe looks up and he's like, here it comes. And you see this epic landscape and you just see the snow starting to blow off the mountains. It's like, you just feel it. You feel it coming at you. And I was like, wow. So they did a good job, like really bringing you in with the scope of it. Don't laugh at me. You know it's true.
I wasn't laughing at you.
She always laughs at me. What else do you have?
Not much. I mean, it was a fun movie. Clean movie, great for families.
Yep.
I feel like it'd be great for families. I mean, the kids might, if they're young and they get tied to animals, they might get sad.
Yes.
But no dog, well, Togo lives a long, full life and
Yes.
dies as a happy dog at the end, but none of the other dogs die in the process, which I think is important to know because some kids might have a hard time with dog death, so none.
Yes, Togo has an off-screen death. So
Yes.
that is kind of nice at a ripe old age, having succeeded in the mission that he went on. Honestly, I was kind of relieved it was that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after seeing Call of the Wild, it did have some similarities to Call of the Wild, but after seeing Call of the Wild and how that one, wasn't about the dog dying, the reversal there, it's
Yeah.
the man dying. Ooh, spoiler alert. But,
They've probably seen it or they're not seeing it.
that's right. At this
At this
point,
point.
that's just kind of where it's at.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that they didn't have to show the dog dying. It's just
Yes.
kind of an off-screen
Well,
thing.
because he was an old dog, lived
Yes.
a full life.
Sired many
It's
pups.
sad,
Yep.
but it happens.
I guess it does. That last line at the end where Willem Dafoe stops and he looks over at that rock, and in his mind's eye, he sees Togo looking majestic sitting on the rock, and they're like, but a great dog is harnessed to your heart. And I'm like, yeah,
That's true.
that is very, very true. Yeah, so this is a good movie, I think. I think it'll give you the feels, and, you're quarantined, maybe, and you're looking for something to do. I think Togo is a good movie. It has a lot of stuff that's incredibly intense. They break it up with a lot of really cool, funny scenes that really bring you into, like the dog and like the family, and then they, hit it home. So I think it's a good, fun streaming movie.
I agree.
All right, so I'm giving it an A-.
Still a B.
All right. So if you saw Togo, at this point, you probably have. What is your grade? Would you go higher or would you go lower than Laura and myself? Let's talk about that in the comments. Did you cry? Did ya? I was close, but I didn't quite get there. She never cries.
I'm a monster!
I'm a monster!
Hit that subscribe button to become a Durbanian and hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified the next time we drop a movie review, ranking video, theological analysis, or anything else we do here. I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
Thanks for checking out Durbania.